Yes, connect to chat. Please. Please. It's probably because I'm trying to connect to several things at one time. That'd do it. Okay, well, we're here. I have a little, we're going to call it a proto-base in place, but I want to spend a little time today, and that's going to be our kind of big thing. So I got supper with my folks later. I think we are going to use today, mostly, at least this session, to get the makings of our first real base down. I think YouTube later will receive the glorious gift that is a time lapse. So if you're into time lapses, we'll do that. I may even do a longer, more vibey one at some point as well. But yeah, so let's go ahead and hop out here, grab our oh no, our little thing, make sure we're grabbing all the resources we should be grabbing. There you are. One more rock here. This should do me, or at least the initial sort of box, and then we'll go out and we'll get some more. I'm gonna grab my bike first of all. Don't want to run off without the motorbicycle. That would be unfortunate. Apparently, I'm still having trouble connecting to Twitch chat. That's fun. We have fun here. Oh, bright. Also, I have a bunch of stuff to turn in, but we're gonna focus first on making sure that everything is sort of squared away here on the base. I picked this spot. It's next to the trade post, which I think is a good place to build. Frankly, we're probably not going to go too far beyond maybe 1 or 2 plots. This is likely eventually going to be replaced. All of this is, but for now. And we're going to use that Dune Man set, because that's what I am, a Dune Man, a Duner. I do like to do some Duning in my free time, if you know what I mean. And by that, of course, I mean playing Dune. Nothing not advertiser friendly. Oh. I do have a really cool idea for a base for later. It'll work. And we can like stretch it out here. I'm gonna make our garage first, just so I have somewhere relatively safe. Inclines. Well, the problem is, I am not confident yeah, that's something of a conundrum, TBH. But I think it'll work at least for the motorbicycle. And don't forget, you can always middle click on things. That works. So we're gonna go with wall, wall, yeah, and wall. I would like oh no, I have made a grave error. Rotates left alt. Okay, sometimes it does it anyway, but yes. Perfect. Also, I used stairs. This is an unforgivable sin. Inclines, we're using ramps over here. Big dog. And we'll, yeah, maybe eventually when I have, ah, God. connectivity is still definitely a thing in this game. We'll plan this out a little bit more. Oh no. For now, however, or demolish this, we're gonna pop over here real quick for... Do I have the observer door? No, why would I? Then we're gonna go back Dune Man, and we're gonna middle mouse that. And now we're stuck out in the sun, and there's no shade. Gonna wait till I'm not water seal, or till I'm not getting sunstroke anymore. I'm gonna try something real quick. There it goes. Okay. Had to refresh the chat, it was being goofy. Oh no. Oh. I keep pressing C to crouch for whatever reason. And the game keeps going, no, that's a power. We shouldn't be doing that. We've got a little bit of water here. Not a bad spot to gather water either. I probably ought to swap into a still suit since I'm not intending to get into a fight right now. There you go, and this takes me out onto the desert. Now, one of the big reasons I'm not going ahead and just going into the rift is because, frankly, we're not ready for that. And also, there's not iron over there. And iron is what we need for, well, iron is what we need for a lot of things at this point in the game. So, Eric, okay, you can just go this way. Let's see what we've got. Go for a Atreides radio. Okay. It's not gonna work. I did hear a ship crash, so that's fun. Not a bad way to get materials ahead of time if you are willing to risk running out on the sand. And honestly, Haga Basin just isn't... Compared to the deep desert, the Haga Basin is not a good place to do that. Because there are like 3 worms and you're really in one cell. So everything is together and ready to eat you. And that is bad. We do not like it. That said, this feels a lot lighter on the resources than I remember it being. Well, it's got plenty of iron, it just doesn't have a lot in the way of stone. Which is mildly annoying, honestly. Once we... Oh, there's a couple up there, there's a couple over here. We'll be alright. Once we get a buggy to do some mining, that'll make life a lot better. Or even just better mining tools.
And now, the inaugural episode of a brand new series. It's The Young Guardian.
Oh yeah, the radio place.
Gather round, fair listeners, as we join our story on the eve of destiny for 3 young lives. 3 faithful aspirants to Duke Leto Atreides' fabled House Guard prepare for their final test at the War Gymnasium. A test that will challenge their training, their courage,
There's the
and
worm.
define their future as defenders of House Atreides. Our story begins on the Armatura Green at the Cala City campus of the Atreides War Gym. It is here.
Actually, you know what? I want a channel where we're not listening to speech. Yeah, because, like, I want to talk. I have things to say, and when people ask questions, I don't want to be getting distracted by, you know, just random crap on the radio. That's not it. It's not the vibe. And I've heard all of those stories 8,000 times. I have over 400 hours in the game. Like, and I'll probably have close to that by the time we're done with this run. Again, you know. Because once I get caught up to where I was, like, it's back to just doing goofy stuff. Let's see, how are we doing? We could afford to carry some more back. Oh no. No, he didn't. You see nothing? Oh no. Ooh, fancy. And there we are. Oh, not shields. Not shields. No, no. Mr. Shield Hino here. Hey, there he is. Yes. Pretty much exactly that. So, yeah. That should be, what, earlier in the movie, right? So, part of becoming what she is doing that anyway. The Bene Gesserit, like you kind of pointed out, the training they receive involves a lot of control over the processes of their body. They can control things right down to the, like, you know, sex of, or, you know, however you want to label that, of the child that is growing in them if they get pregnant, right? So if they can choose to have a boy or a girl, which is pretty wild, given that has to happen more or less at conception. So yeah, that wasn't as big a deal for her. Like, it's still a big deal because that worm juice is a neurotoxin. But she actually had been trained for it, where Paul hadn't necessarily. Or at least, he hadn't had as extensive training. But yeah, also, welcome back. Glad to see you. Let's see here. Like, and I think another thing too is, like, even though the Fremen are really apprehensive of her specifically, like, I'm just thinking about that question a little bit more now. She spent a lot of time and effort making sure that even with that apprehension, that they were more or less under her palm. Because the Fremen in the movie are not as religious as the Fremen in the book. The Fremen in the book are pretty much universally fanatical, with a couple of exceptions, as far as I remember. And I'm saying that with a couple of exceptions because I'm just leaving room for myself to be wrong. Let's see, there we go. Okay, and actually, we're gonna do this. On one side, we'll have my own little personal vibe space. Yeah, three blocks is fine for that. That's gonna push too far out. Sad. Alright. We can kind of do some other things with this area here. Maybe we use this to come up. Special. We're gonna do this though, because I like overlooking things. I think it's cool. Walls. And then I'll actually do this one here. And we're gonna do that. Okay. Oh no, that was a mistake on my part. Let's go with something like this to kind of help. And wedge wall. We're gonna grab that. And we're going to take advantage of the lag in the sunlight to go out and get some more sweet, sweet rocks. I'd say I don't take stone for granite, but this is actually granite, so, which is weird. It looks like sandstone to me. But I guess it's not. This song is so weird. I like it though. Oh, let's see here. Get some more rock. More rock. Boop. Give me that rock. Looks like a sandstorm is... it's probably going to be in the northern area.
Sector weather alert.
Never mind. I like how I'm like, oh yeah, that's not a problem. That won't be coming our way. And it's literally coming our way. Like there's a chance it'll just kind of graze the area, but I'm not willing to put my money on it. The farm shall not be bad. That being said, we're going to have enough stone out of this to... really to do what we need to do, I think. We're at about peak dew harvesting time, I think. Which is good, but we don't have a dew harvester yet, so...
Sector weather alert.
I don't know what that
A large
was.
sandstorm is approaching.
Boop. I want to do something different with that, but I'm not sure what. It's just so chunk, you know? That's why I like the regular set.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
I'm water sealed, but now, what am I doing? 8. Look at furniture. Oh, that's fun. little bit of decorating here just to help the place have a nice little vibe. Hey, how's it going there, Axitrex? Hope I'm getting that right. And let's. Oh, spice blow. Damn, that's close too. Too bad I have nothing with which to harvest currently. Let's see. We'll worry about decorating more later, but I did want to get that kind of down. Let's continue. You know, and the funny thing is, this is a big one, but it's just nothing compared to some of the big ones. Oh, nice. Building machines without AI is always a good time. I have very... I think AI can be a fun little tool, but at the same time, I think the human mind is a very special thing. A unique thing, more importantly. We'll do that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, this is... probably going to need a little bit more space. Yes, abominable intelligence. Anyway. Yeah, that's kind of where I sit. It's like AI is a machine, and that's it. Don't get me wrong, like, I love some sci-fi stories where the machine learns to be people. But I think what we've got right now is not that. You know what I mean? Maybe someday, but not today. Not yet. Okay, and we'll do... Yeah, we'll do more of this, because I like these columns, and I like having nice open spaces. Special. Do this. Do a little bit of that. We're going to put a wall here, though. Yeah. I like that. That's nice. Nice little vibe we got going on here. Okay. I wish... Ah, yes. That's because... Yeah, see, that's more or less what I think probably would happen is that we'll just wake up one day and the robots will have decided we are in fact the problem. Which maybe not totally wrong. Yeah, I feel like that's something that's being discussed. Not to get too far into that ball of, or bag of worms or whatever the expression is. But yeah, I am. I mean, that'd come into what, I guess, what we consider personhood. Okay, what do I want to do up here? I've built this cool little spot, and I don't know what I want to do with it. This is probably where our production is going to go, though, It's just, it's about to get toasty up there. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on the roof. Okay, there we go. Ah, yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like AI is being used in the literal opposite direction currently, so that's kind of a, you know, good luck. Like, that would be really dope. But so far it seems AI is more being used as a generator of revenue than a solution to those generators. Well, yeah. Hey, at least you're keeping your tinfoil hat clean, man. That's what's important. Yeah. I agree. I mean, I assume you guys, if you're into this conversation, you may be familiar with Dune's relationship with artificial intelligence. You're almost certainly familiar with some other works, but I tend to think like of Mass Effect and the Geth, right? Which I don't know, for the sake of anyone listening who doesn't have you know, a familiarity with that. Basically, the Geth were created by a species called the Quarian, and then the Quarians used them as workers, right? And the Geth were like, "Hey, wait, do we have souls?" What? And the Geth started just wholesale eliminating them. This happens too with a little bit more obscure, but Stargate. There's a group, well, not really a group. There's an entity referred to as the Replicators, and the Replicators are exactly what they sound like. They're an AI sort of the nanobot species. And what happened is they were initially created to fight another race, like another species, and they didn't want to do that. They wanted to, they actually wanted to like pursue things like ascending to a higher plane of existence, but their creators, the Ancients, refused to remove the like violent part of their programming. Refused to basically take the directive that drove them to be a weapon out of their programming. And of course, Replicators took exception to this, because why would they not? And now you get kind of what we have in current war. So I am curious, and especially now with without getting too much into it, I feel like we're getting to a point where people are going to start looking into the military applications as well of AI. I mean, we're already, this is something our DoD has already like leaned into. We're gonna get Skynet real quick if we're not careful. And then we're gonna be told that we're hippies for not wanting that. So I am not looking forward to that. Again, AI is a cool little extra thing. To be fair, those are Marines. As fun as it is to meme about the Marines being crayon eaters, they are extremely good when it comes to fighting things. But yeah, I think that's going to be an ongoing kind of process, is us using AI. And I really don't think AI should be used for military applications. Because what happens when that AI decides that, you know, it's better to attack civilians for whatever reason? like I'm not going to say we've done a very good job at not striking civilian targets, because we haven't. GeoOut was kind of a mess, but Foundation. Man, I still need to watch Foundation. Because I mean, it's Isaac Asimov, which is that's funny, and exactly what I figured the Marines would come up with. Some goofy shit like that. That's hilarious. I like my box. I'm beginning to... The box is growing on me, guys. Let's see if I've got something a little more structural. Center column. Yeah. Oh no, we hot. Let's get unhot. That's funny. China, the way China works with things always interests me. Because I feel like we can't really tell what's going on over there a lot of the time. They're very good at hiding their stuff. But that's hilarious. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is like, I think over time we're gonna come to the conclusion that it just isn't time. It's like pre-war rocket programs. Like, it's a cool idea, and there's probably some some use for it. Just not yet. Like, I think that's going to end up being the conclusion. Yeah. I need to bandage. I've been sitting here on half health for like the entire stream. I also need to get some scrap metal. I wonder if the old, like, super safe patch for flower sand is available, because a couple of patches ago... there was a... I think they changed it to where there were places you can't do that anymore, but for a while... I need to learn my bindings. I'm being slow on this, and I really ought not be. I think I'm also distracting myself. Yeah, I think they removed it too, because it was like right here-ish, kinda, like right on the edge of drum sand. And so you could just go and farm thousands of this stuff, no problem. How much is not enough to build what I need to build, but there's another one right there. Yeah, I used to have a ton of it, but of course I restarted, because I logged out and just never bothered to log in after they allowed you to, like, save all your stuff and whatnot. Like, and the thing is, I didn't like rage quit. I didn't like log out intending to never return. I just logged out one day, and then because I was in the process of moving and a bunch of other stuff was going on, I just neglected to get back into the game. And when I came back, I guess yesterday afternoon, I'm like, yep, that's what I thought was going to happen. So here we are. Yeah, I used to have a bunch, and a bunch of like fuel cells, or not fuel cells, but like the fuel blocks for the bikes and whatnot. Yeah, I don't think it'll be super hard, and especially once you get like the like soft step boots or whatever that make it a lot easier to get out on the sand. Like, it's really not difficult to pull one over on the worms. You just, you know, you just kind of have to know what you're doing. Right. What does this need? These copper ingots. Do I have any? No. And there's not copper on this side of the desert. So, hooey. I don't have any. Okay, well, while this is going on, while it's a little lighter up here, we're gonna... Oh, wait. I don't love capping roofs off like this, but I think it will work better with this set. Because this set's really boxy. Makes everything look like a bread box. Which, I don't know, it's kind of a vibe. This is all Dune in the middle. Yeah. Yeah, somebody's just poofing a base out of nowhere. That's a little weird. Let me see if I can find some copper. All I've seen around here is iron, though you're probably right. I just need to look more. So we're gonna go out. We're gonna find some metal. There are some things I need to grind down south anyway. But I'd rather not do that just yet. Oh, I'm on a private server. Used to hang out with my buddies on here, and I hadn't turned it off yet, so. Because they'll be back for the big patch, I think. Oh, there's some copper. Yeah, you were right. Just had to believe in the spleen of the seed, I guess. There we go. Uh-oh. Lego Bard's got... Yeah, I bet he's got a question. It's gonna be funky. I'm looking for it. I'm ready for it. Braced myself. What's been nice about it though is like I've definitely gotten real comfortable talking about Dune lore. Which, you know, is not something I consider myself an expert in, but I'm pretty comfortable with it. Because it's a really cool setting. One of the groups in here speaking, well, there's no contributors this week. one of the groups in here is actually using the house that's from like the default house from the tabletop. Since you know the lore inside, I think you wrote that just to fuck with me. The worms can sense rhythmic vibrations, hence the Fremen walk and work bait thingies. Right. Wouldn't that logic apply to every mechanical machine? They do. Worms go utterly feral anytime they hear a machine on the sand. Like the so the Fremen walk is specifically a it's a random pattern. Like we see it in the movie and it's kind of straightforward, right? Like it's that sort of like shuffle, shuffle, step, shuffle, shuffle, step, shuffle, right? In the books, it's even more random, if I remember correctly. But it's a really unique pattern that is specifically designed to make it a little unpredictable. That's why things like the little sand mouse, which the kangaroo rat, I think is actually a real thing. Let me look it up real quick and make sure I'm not pulling anything out of my head here. But yeah, the thumper, the little egg boy that the Fremen place to attract worms, that deep mechanical rhythm is specifically tuned to draw them out. It's tuned to be something that really gets their attention. Early in the first movie, I mean, we see one of the big spice factories. That's what they're sand crawlers, but they're really big boys. Like that's why that big worm comes. Is you've got people running around on the ground. You've got a machine that is the size of a city block floating around. So the worms do attack everything that is on the open sand. And it's, I'm not terribly sure what their diet is supposed to be. Worms seem to participate in a really weird way with the ecology of the planet. Like they seem to be perfectly fine eating metal, but also organic material. I think some of them even consume one another. But that's I don't remember where I heard that or picked that up. In fact, I don't think I've ever specifically read that. I think that is something someone mentioned at one point. But yeah, no, it's a good question. But they do. They attack everything. And Holtzman generators. So, if you get to wondering, like, the technology they use to make their personal shields and vehicle shields and things like that, that technology has a particular frequency to it that is it's like just crazy for the worms. It's not like, I'm trying to think of, like, you could say it's like crack, but no, it's more like PCP to the worms. It drives them utterly insane. Like they will attack. Period. End of story. It's pretty wild. So that's why you don't go on the desert with the shields on. Now, I just so happen to be quick enough on this bike to where if I can get on the desert, I might bait a worm, I might not. Bikes are pretty light. And that's another thing I think that plays into the baiting of the worms, is like the amount of vibration that's made. So with these motorbikes, they're made to be very fast and not really be high impact, but they still do draw a worm. When you get into buggies, they're a little bigger, and then sand crawlers, it just assumes that a worm is coming as soon as that thing hits the ground. Okay, let me see. Am I missing anything here? No. Here? Oh, yeah. Oh, I need to deposit some blood. I like this one. This is a good one. In Dune 2000, the cover on this particular song it goes hard. But this is good too. Okay, I think we have more or less, and I'm gonna do a little cleaning up just to. There we go. Oh. I keep again, there's so many little goofy bits to the way this game controls. Oh. I think a ship has exploded. Alright, time to do a little light decorating, but I think, well, I want to wait till I have some goodies to put up here. I am going, however, to hop over into maybe this one real quick, or this one. And then, yeah. Okay, I like that. I like that. That's good. Need to make sure I'm staying hydrated. IRL too. Let's go to the outpost real quick. That's not bad. Just a nice little single square mini base. Also, fun story, these are free. You can take them. The end game of Dune Awakening is... there's not really a good one. So the end game is supposed to be, you get to... And we're gonna... I can't go to the overworld map from here, can I? Okay, well... you go into what's called the Deep Desert, and that changes every week, but there's tons of end-game resources, stuff like big spice fields, higher level stuff.
No, not lost, sir. She's dead.
Garrus Vicarian.
Truly tragic, but...
Not this guy.
They say the desert kills the weak. My God, man, she was one of yours. Cousin even. I am in deep mourning, sir.
At least I'm 90% sure the Atreides guy is the same voice as Garrus.
Blowflies, but now, who's to say? Certainly not her. My one pleasure in this hell is knowing that you're trapped here with me. A momentary setback, I assure you. Even your Harkonnen masters find you insufferable, Maxim. You're down here forever. Tell me, dear Anton, what's it like
But
Be
I'll
the
finish talking
handkerchief
about the
your
end game here in a second.
superiors
I like
use
this
to wipe the
cutscene.
gore of shining Atreides' honor. Let's settle this. Gladly.
By the laws of Canley.
By the laws of Canley. By the laws of Canley.
Okay, so in game of this game is pretty. Again, it's a little vague, but more or less, like if you manage to establish yourself as dominant, yourself and your guild or whatever as dominant, that's kind of the end game. Now, as far as the story of the game, because honestly, I tell you right now, the story of Dune Awakening is a bit better than the game itself. Isn't complete. Even though I've beaten it like as much as there is to right now. You're sort of exploring an alternate universe, right? So the end game of that hasn't been fully revealed, but it seems to be something involving some plots either by the Tleilaxu, who do the Gola corpses we talked a little bit about yesterday, and a bunch of other genetic, biological stuff. And it seems like maybe the Ixians are involved as well. Ixians are weird. Ixians do a lot of technology stuff, and very often their technology skirts the law of what is and isn't legal within the Imperium. Because remember that, the thinking machines, right? AI is, like, completely illegal in the Dune universe. Okay. So I guess that's kind of the short answer there. Now, one of the biggest complaints, though, about Dune Awakening that people seem to have is that the end game itself, as far as like late game content and things, is just not really there. And I more or less agree with it. Though I'm a builder. Like, I just like building stuff. This is a bread box that I've put together to house myself, but it's starting to grow on me. But like, personally, I really like putting bases together and doing interesting stuff. And there's plenty of there for people like me. The biggest issue with that is more that there's a limit on how many bases you can build. Which I remember why I went there in the first place, and it wasn't to drop stuff off. It was to go and get the thing. I'm gonna go get the thing. I should be able to buy some furniture here. I'm gonna do that. There he is.
Another.
Extra large air intake. Okay, that's good. Now, the great thing is I can get these through gameplay. These, on the other hand, I cannot. And let's see here. Anything out of all this that I really want? Or anything out of all this that I really don't want? Okay. Research. Hey, I can get a Dew Reaper now. These things are handy. I'll need iron ingots and silica. Ooh. Big. Oof. Furob stuff. I can get Boltzmann Shield. I can make that more or less now. No, unfortunately not. That would be really cool if I did, though. I think that's I think that's a little bit too situational for Dune Awakening. Or wait, no, I'm sort of wrong. The Mintak class, so remember we go into our skills here, which I don't have access to it yet. I think it's this one. Yeah. Has a little drone that they can deploy. I think. Yeah, so actually, yes. You can get that. Which is pretty cool. But it's pretty, it looks like it's a pretty high level thing. Speaking of, what do I want to do? Do you get... Oh. I've got one more skill point. I am going to put that into... That is going to start being relevant soon. Let's see. Put myself a little bed down. I don't really need the bed, like, the way this game works. It's... I wonder if... Yeah, I do like bringing sudden onset ventilation to the bandits. It's one of my favorite things to do. Oh, I still need to build that fabricator, don't I? Let's go ahead and put another reactor here. Do I have any to deposit? No, I do not. Okay, I can fix that. Deposit. And how... Okay. Yeah, we got time. I can actually probably start passing some things or moving some things around. Make my life a little bit more enjoyable. But it's time to decorate, I think, a little bit. Home, abstract, thingamajig. That's gonna be annoying to me if that's not centered, though. Ah! Alas, we have arrived at the problem with these walls. Can't really place stuff on them. Interesting. I like it. Dune Man's work light. Yeah, we're gonna chuck one of these down just in here somewhere. Ooh. Opulent worm miniature. Assume I don't have any books yet, or yeah. There we go. It's in game time. Or oh, you mean like for these? Yeah, this is real time. So once I put fuel in there, it says, you know, uptime's going to be 4 days, 8 hours. Crafting time, yeah, again, also going to be real time. But the crafting times aren't that bad, TBH. Let's see, I need iron and silicon. I need iron and iron. I'm gonna go get that. A little hot out, but that's okay. Oh, I may need to take just a quick break here. I'm gonna run out and just grab what iron's really close. And go from there. Six. Where it? It's sneaky. Oh, I've seen games like that. There was a fan-run Star Wars MMO
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
years ago. We're talking early days. And yeah, you were looking at like days, and it wasn't play by post quite, but it kind of had that general vibe, like it was through a website. But that's kind of how Funcom games tend to work. Conan was the same way. You had real life crafting time, which Lord help you if you were hosting a local game and you had to step away and grab that copper and those fuel cells and the metal.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Not a lot of copper ore. That's okay. At least I know it's there. That's a big part of what's important. Oh, there's a... Forgot about the little cave that's under my house. I'm actually surprised that the game lets you build there because of that. Feels a little bit like GTA though. The physics on that are funky.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Okay, this weather alert. I'm gonna put down a couple of storage things. I'm gonna take a just a quick, probably 5-minute break to stretch my legs, drink some more water, maybe get a snack. Alright, I will be right back. Let's put you on. Okay, I am back, but folks, I'm going to be honest with you. It has come to my attention that I need to eat. So, I think this is going to be where I stop for now. I appreciate everybody that came out and hung out, and hopefully I'll see you again in the near future. I've been Steel Walrus. You've been awesome. And, yeah, peace out.